Remember Sheila, me Karcher T9/1BP. We'll come on to the 1BP in a second. Well, she works, you know that from the before video when we fixed her, and she's a lot cleaner now and pretty much completely transformed, and it's amazing. Let me show you how she came out. Yes, hello my vacuum cleaner chums, how are you today? Yes, old Sheila has been to a spa day and has come up really well, completely transformed the entire thing. I mean, she's still wearing her battle scars and the dinks and scratches, but there's not a great deal you can do about that. The tools are, well, you know, they're clean, but they're never going to be perfect, I'm afraid. They always get scuffed up. The hose has been through the wash and came up okay, but not perfect. And quite honestly, I'm not going to do much more about it. It is a hose. Haven't done anything about the wands yet. I know a friend who's got a pipe clamp that I'm hoping that I can twist them apart and get something out of them, but for now it's not terribly important. They are just wands. The floor tool, well, it's not a genuine pneumatic. I think it is a clone, but equally, you know, the base plate isn't worn out like they usually do. They usually start to wear that ridge apart. It's okay. It's certainly not completely disgustingly filthy anymore, and it does a very good job, although it is missing its parking slot, so it does need to be replaced at some point. So there's the boring tools, to be quite honest. The main show is Sheila herself. Let me unwrap the cable because we won't need that on there. Remember, we fitted a nice Dyson DC33 Flex to her, so it is very long indeed. And yeah, she cleaned up an absolute treat. If you remember, underneath was absolutely filthy. It's now not, and yes, it is a very fetching lime green and purple, which is odd really, since, you know, Karcher usually yellow. They're grey and yellow. Not quite sure what era they decided to experiment with different colours are, but hey, you know, they did it. And if we look underneath, if you remember, this was black as anything. It came up really well indeed. The only real thing I couldn't do anything about was the back door seal. If you look, there's still a little bit of black around the edge. It didn't actually come out without me, you know, ripping it out and having to re-stick it back down, so I didn't bother. And if you look in places like in there, which again was black as anything, the Amtech motor in here does like to plaster itself about. See, it's nice and clean. I have found a crevice tool for it, although it is too long. It sits there. There's only one tool that came with it. That is just, you know, a blanking piece really. There's no way to put a tool in. And with the base unit onto the top unit, you know, might fit a small dusting brush in there. I don't actually know. Don't really care. I mean, this fits there, sticks out a little bit, but does the job. Best bit really is look how the filter came out. Just a wash. I mean, I vacuumed it off and it didn't really touch it, so I soaked it in soda crystals actually, gave it a good wash out in bio powder first, got the worst off, then it had a night in soda crystals, and yeah, absolutely spotless. Inside here, we'll take off the bag, is, using it, it's a bit dirty, came up really well. There's a couple of signs of, you know, Sheila's previous life that's mainly scratched into the thing, but yeah, it's as clean as I can possibly get it. And yes, we have ourselves a pneumatic HEPA flow fitted in nicely. And yeah, it came up really nicely indeed. And I've already shown you how Sheila works, although I'll show you again now that the filter's clean and there is a fresh bag, because it really is rather astonishing. Now, a little bit of administration. Do you remember, I mean, I broke it ultimately, so there's not a lot we could have done about it. Do you remember I thought the switch was broken? It's actually not. What it is, it's a momentary push switch that just trips the PCB on. So, turn it on, doesn't actually do anything. You've got to wait until the switch itself sends the connection, and then it does it. So it does require a bit of a double press at the minute. Not much I can do about that until I might give a switch to the kids and make them break it. I mean, how many broken switches in DC25s have we replaced that just, don't latch on? They're called momentary switches, and that's what we need, and it's quite expensive to buy one. So I've either got to break a switch or wait for a broken switch to come along. So for now, you'll see me double tap this because you have to. But really, really good suction indeed. So much so that using it as a vacuum cleaner is quite difficult. It's actually quite difficult. This floor head is very nice. Sticks to the floor and then makes the slightly rusty bonds stick to it. But you can try a few floor tools really. Here I have the Free Flow Clone. Come on. There we go. Which sticks like utter glue. In fact, using it back here, you can pick the whole mat up with. I also have the Henry Cordless floor tool, which is even worse. Yeah. Which is even worse because it just glues itself down to the floor. Bless it. Sheila does have a lot of poke. I wonder how fast she'll spin an aero brush. Pull you back down. Do the double tap. Double tap. Come on. There we go. Hurt my thumb trying to push the flipping wand. It's absolutely amazing. I can see why these are quite popular really. I mean, it's very big and very bulky, but crikey, it doesn't half work well. So yeah, that is the T9 part of Sheila. Let's wind the cable up, which takes forever. I mean, I don't think it's supposed to have a cable on it. Obviously, being a hybrid, it had the IEC plug, which we cut off because it broke. So a little bit of a faff, but with the Dyson cord clip on there, it works okay. There was just one thing that bothered me really, and that's that we have a whole thing here which needs to be filled up, and wasn't really expecting to ever be able to do it because batteries for this cost a fortune if you can find them. Until I looked on eBay, and crikey, these took nearly 2 weeks to arrive. The seller contacted me first saying, have they arrived yet? Everything else I posted has. And I was about to say, no they haven't, until this morning there was a dinger-donger at my door, and for £28, £20 for these, and then postage, we have a Karcher BC 1/1.8 charger, which I don't think's been used very much. In fact, I don't think it's been used at all, because look, it's still wrapped up in its cable. We then have another BC 1-8 charger, which has seen a little bit of use. Yeah, something about it says that it has. I mean, there's no fuse holder. The cable is a mess. And then it came with not one, but two lithium-ion 25.2 volt batteries. The guy said they bought it for a job at work. Obviously, makes sense. I presume the Karcher do a lot of cordless things that fit these batteries, and they had a clear out and found them, and they're like £28. I offered 20 quid, and here they are. So with these lithium-ion batteries, we can slot. No, Sheila, don't give the game away yet. We can slot them in. And now the thing is really heavy, really heavy, and we have gone from 1,300 watts down to 300. For goodness sake. And you have to wait a bit, because it takes a while to ramp up. But we have ourselves, I think it's 300 watts, and it holds itself up. But yeah, we have ourselves a completely cordless vacuum cleaner. I mean, doesn't spin the head as well, I'll be honest, but yeah, straight suction, it's alright really. I mean, the thing's designed to hum around office blocks and shopping centres. I think it's got about 40-minute battery life, and what happens is it'll run one battery down and then switch over to the other, because we can take one out and it will run with one and flash to tell us that there's no charge in the battery, because there's no battery in it. So we'll put both in. These are both fully charged batteries, I think. I did unbox them earlier to obviously check they work, to check it was worth me even filming this video, and they do. So let's see how Sheila copes with a bit of dirt without being plugged into the wall. I mean, this is vastly overkill for the sort of muck that this would be expected to clean up anyway. Look, we'll put it there, look, so you can confirm that it is not plugged in. Wait for it. It does take a while to. It's a slow start on the battery, but not a slow start on mains. The straw tool doesn't help, but I know. Definitely doesn't help. We'll put a better floor tool on it, because it's not the original one anyway. Look, we'll put the Henry Cordless, which does help a lot, because it's designed for cordless machines. And you know what? It gets the bits up an absolute treat. Bar the head pushing the dirt away, because that's what these heads do. I took it outside and cleaned a bit of the garden with it earlier. I could use it in the shed. It's got all sorts of possibilities. All stuff falling over behind me. It's really quite extraordinary. With this head on, it just about parks itself. It's not fab, but it tries, bless it. It's really quite cool. Let me do a little bit of a straight suction pickup with a pile of dirt, because it's 300 watts. Doesn't seem that powerful, but then it's spinning a bigger motor slower, so it's still creating vast amounts of airflow. Come on. Only issue at the minute. Comical, you're going to wait for it. Now, if that was a cordless, Dyson, it'd be full by now. Well, but we can clip the credits to it. It's been great. I fitted a little dusting brush to it earlier on and gave all my house a clean, and crikey, it is making me think that maybe my Dyson V11 perhaps isn't the best thing for my house. And I do need a hose, you know, the bird makes a mess a lot, kids are around, making me think that I might trial this a bit. You might see this 12 vacuums in 12 months later on in the year, because I've been wanting a Henry cordless for a while. I think it would tick a lot of boxes, but obviously I'm not wanting to spend out the money on one. This is to say what it is, a lot heavier and bulkier for no real gain, I'll be completely honest. But, you know, test the theory. Just like I tested the theory about a cordless shark with that IC160 before deciding that they are just toys and it wasn't worth the bother. Quite looking forward to it. So, well done, Sheila. You worked well. I mean, I've got to find a broken switch to fix Sheila with, but we'll sort that out a bit later on. I can't even fit a momentary, you know, other switch because it's a square receptacle, as you saw. But hey ho. So yeah, Sheila is now firing on her hybrid cylinder as well as her mains cord. And I can see why the cable was connected via a connector now, but can't do much about that. And hopefully, if Sheila proves her worth, we might see a few other cordless cleaners, but with a hose on this channel. But I think Sheila has one more trick up her sleeve yet. But that's not for this video. I'm still finding the parts for that, putting that together. So for now, you know, I could go and clean the car without having to put any power out there. But it'll do it. It's not going to be a deep cleaner on battery, but you know, it will do a job. Yeah, dusting brush won't fit in there. And I think I'll probably just keep the nicer charger because I don't need two chargers, I don't think. Not much point, since I can just charge them. They take about an hour and a half to charge up each. I think they last about 40 minutes, but who knows. So yeah, Sheila, the Karcher T9/1 BP, she is now battery powered, firing on all cylinders. And yeah, I can see why Karcher probably sell quite a lot of these. Problem is they probably don't survive, because I'd imagine they all get used corded and they just get smashed to bits, which is why you never see them. They're all on contract. But this one, I'm still not 100% it wasn't stolen with all of those stickers on it, but yeah, I've not had the police knock on the door yet. I doubt I will. Probably saved it from just going into skip when its contract was up. And we can have a little bit of fun with her along the way. So, have you got a cordless hybrid vacuum cleaner? Let me know. Tell me what you think of it. And for now, I and Sheila will see you soon. Bye bye.